Well, hello everyone! Rexington back here again for another episode of Finding the Fighters. Yes, that's the name we're going with. I know. Last time I might said it was a dumb name, but it's the only one I could think of. So we're gonna stick with it and hope it works. But hey, it does well for ratings, so it's easy to find because two Fs. So hey, it kind of fits with the theme of a Faith Finder too. They're also a FF. Yeah. Alrighty then. But now that that's out of the way, we have a lovely show for you today. We have a lot more fighters that have decided to come on to our lovely little show here, so we can sit down with them, get to know them on a more personal level. Well, hello, folks. Welcome back. Well then, we are ready to bring on our first guest onto the show, so let's welcome them onto the stage here. Please do come out. Well, this is the first. We have twins. St- uh, So,
Give us a damn
are you gonna like sit down? Like, there's room, there's room on the
Sit
couch.
down. You sit down.
Well, I guess we know who came out of the womb first.
Well, well, that's a whole thing. Actually, we used to be one entire person to begin with.
Excuse
Are
me.
you having
There's a bit of a
you
technical
okay?
difficulties.
Hmm.
Sit your ass down.
I'm trying. I'm not coordinated.
You do know that this is recorded live, right? There's like no like editing or anything, so we're going to see how much of a dumbass you are, no matter what.
Oh well. I am the ditzy one. This one's the crazy one.
So either you can stick your dick in crazy or stupid.
Or it'd be the other way around.
Fair
But,
enough.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, jokes aside, let us get into the episode and the actual reason why you're here to talk to me, not to be roasted by me. Okay, so please do introduce yourselves to the audience for those that don't know you.
Well, we both go by the same name, which is Asa.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, we used to be one, like, as one, and then a long time ago, I kind of split their side of me out, and then just they disappeared for a long time after that, and just yeah, and then around the time that I finally found the summoner that summoned us, they popped back around. So
I see, I see. Well, that is quite interesting. And what are your current ranks within Fight Finder?
ranks. I don't think neither one of us are ranked right now.
So still unranked.
Yeah.
Haven't even reached bronze yet.
Yeah, no, sadly. I've only had a few fights. This one just barely came into the scene, so.
Well, do you at least know how many wins you do have currently?
At least for me, I think it's like at least two,
Two? Alright.
maybe three.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. I've been off doing other things.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense, makes sense.
So,
So, what made you want to join Fight Finder in the first place?
uh, well, for me, technically just to beat the living shit out of people and gain experience on other types of people.
Mm. So you just see it as a way of training.
I mean, yeah, especially because a long time ago I used to go up against robots
Mm.
that weren't very easy to take down, so you know it's better to get the training in while you're facing other people, you know.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, the other Asa?
Excuse me, I was muted. Excuse me. This one kept freaking talking about it, so I got curious.
Okay, so you're just following in your sister's shadow, uh, hoping to be better than them at some point, but you just keep getting overshadowed by their sheer excellence.
No,
Mm.
not necessarily.
Mm.
Just overall
Now they want to
curiosity
be,
and strengthening my skills.
yeah, they want to be their own person, even though we technically are the same person. It's just two different halves.
Mm.
So basically, they're just trying to become a better version of their half of us. So you know,
I see, I see. So which leads into my next question, but what do you hope to get out of Fight Finder? What do you hope to achieve? What do you hope to improve about yourself?
eh, learning more methods on how to take people down, especially because you know there's all different types of people out there trying to always go after you.
Yeah.
You
All right.
never know what kind of people you go against.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just here for the fun of it.
I see. So no real goals yet, is what I'm gathering from you.
None so far.
I see. I see. Okay. Okay. Well, this might be an easier question for the both of you, but Fight Finder has a lot of different fighters with different skills, martial prowess and whatnot. So what's sets you aside from the rest? What edge do you have that would you say would give you an extra um, boon or perk within your combat ability to take down your opponents?
Well, for me, it's mostly the fact that, well, since we are actually the same thing, mine's is if I'm in my transformation stage, the more rage, the harder I hit. Because, because we're technically a wrath demon.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's just still trying to figure out their transformation.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially when you don't have the negative emotions like I do.
Ah, I see, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Which is technically why our color schemes are the exact opposite of each other.
Yes, yes. You had the typical black and red, which is very common from a lot of the fighters I've seen. I really thought of. Yes, at least that one has a bit more color. Not as dark and brooding.
I mean, that's why they are the emotions they have.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
mean, it is. I mean, it is true.
Well, I mean,
Don't get me started on your whole room being not messy.
Well, I mean, you must
Oh,
have.
wait a minute. It is messy. It looks like a
Oh.
tornado went through it.
Oh boy.
I thought that's why. I thought that's why I had them made.
Oh, she does. You just wreck it again.
Well, it seems like you do have quite the sibling rivalry going on.
I mean, like I said, we are the same person, just two different halves.
I see, I see.
So,
Well, even though that she uses similar abilities, do you have anything that makes you different from your sister, or any extra edge you have above her?
well, like I said, I have I have my rage understood. They're still trying to figure out theirs.
Hmm.
So,
I see.
plus I also have another thing I carry, which I haven't gotten them yet.
Hmm.
So,
I see, I see. Okay, so, you've probably witnessed a few of the fights in Fight Finder and gotten to know a lot of the, other participants within the little group, correct?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've even had a few fights with some people that very interesting people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, are there any you hold in high respect? Any you see as a role model? Any like someone you would always root for if you saw them in a fight?
Mm, I mean, me personally, I'm not entirely sure, but I do feel a lot of energy that comes off of the one in charge of the entire thing.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I wouldn't mind at some point being able to fight him, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a hard one to obtain a fight with.
You would get humbled real quick.
I mean, like, you don't already try to?
I pick and choose battles. You just
No,
go
I
in
meant
crazy
against
like
me.
Eh!
All right, got the least keep this somewhat
Do that again.
professional. So save it for the arena. Mm-hmm. So,
But yeah.
yeah, have you gotten a chance to witness any other combatants, or have yet to see any of them in action?
I have been around before. I've seen some of how fighters fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it.
I see, I see. Well, anyone you see as a is anyone that you respect, right now, or are you still trying to figure that out?
I respect Darth Vader.
Really?
I respect him to the point I do not want to fight that dude.
Really, Vader?
I've already fought him.
Yeah, you have, but I haven't. And I'm never going to.
So why Darth Vader?
Unless he
of all
pisses
Yeah, no,
me
you would
off.
whoop your ass.
Both of you talked at the same time.
So why Darth Vader of all people?
That's one of those mysteries that I have no idea of myself.
Hmm.
All I know is, dude's a good fighter.
I see. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Alrighty then. So, next question. Is there anyone that you currently see as a rival, someone you want to, like, overcome or have this burning urge to just beat the ever living shit out of?
I mean, I've already done it with with one of the things I can control, but he also likes to talk shit a bit as well. And try to pick fights with all different types of people, which is I'm just gonna put it bluntly, Job. Yeah, he tends to pick fights with people who he tends to underestimate as well. So
I ain't got none yet.
Well, you probably will soon.
well, except for me, obviously.
Shut the fuck up.
I see. Well, that's all the time that we have here. That's all my questions answered. So, any closing remarks, anything you want to promote, any call-outs you want them to put forth?
Except for, I only have one. I want a rematch with fucking Bowser. No, that motherfucker. I literally went full rage on his ass.
You want to fight on a Nintendo character? You got beef with a Nintendo character.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, I've been around the world more than you have, and I know what Nintendo is, bitch.
Well then, since that a challenge there already, hear that, Bowser? Someone wants to kick your ass.
Yeah, go get him.
And what about...
Well, I mean, I've already fought him, so.
Hey, we always like to have our rematches, you know, settle the score.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have any final things to say?
Work fast, smoke grass. That's all.
Yeah. This, like I said, this one's the weird one.
I see. Well,
you were one of the weird ones.
all right. Well, thank you for coming to my show and taking the time to sit down and talk here with me. I hope to see you rise the ranks and continue the good fight in learning and training as much as you can.
It was good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Alright.
Action. Well, hello, folks, and welcome back to the show. Well, we have our second guest here for this evening, so let's bring them up onto the stage. Please do come and join me. Well, hello and welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Well, let's start with introductions. Please do introduce yourself to the audience and those watching at home, for those that don't know who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Max J. Runa. I am from Osaka, Japan, at around 24 to 25 years old. I myself have joined with Fight Finder as of, I think, for about a month already? 1.5 months. I am currently a World Tour class fighter, not not a ranked or competitive. I solely enter into these fights for the thrill of it and to see how I can better extend myself through physical training and through these sparrings with the rest of the Fight Finder roster.
World tour. That's actually not one I've had here before. So how come you don't want to do the ranked stuff? Like, is there a reason behind it, or is it just not like not your thing?
To me, the whole aspect and concept of rank is, in my opinion, and I don't mean this in any rude way or anything like that, it's kind of a glorified like way of proving who is better instead of proving who is equal. Because to me, I feel people who work their way up to that rank will possibly, at the wrong moment, show it off in the wrong way. Like, I'm better than you, you piece of shit, and all that. Like, that's not the sort of mentality I find myself following. As a World Tour fighter, the whole slogan for Fight Finder is fight anyone, anywhere. It gives that sort of opportunity to present yourself and prove your worth as an equal to the one you challenge. That's the way sort of philosophy that goes into my head every time I go into a Fight Finder event, official, unofficial, and sign myself up for a match.
I see. And what's the current amount of wins you have as of now, if you know it off the top of your head?
So far, 7. I'd say around 6 to 7 wins. With a more recent one being with Miss V, whenever they held the fight event at the, I'd like to remember it was a Chili's parking lot. That was last week, I think.
Wow. So you're actually doing quite well for yourself.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, that's good. So, what made you want to join Fight Finder in the first place?
To me, it was the question of that philosophical question of what is strength and what builds a man to become stronger. Is it the training? Is it like that mentality that goes into effect every time you get into a quarrel with someone? Is it what drives you to act competitively, to be the person on top? It really just puts their mind through the ringer with a question like that. There's multiple answers and none of them can be correct because everybody has their own definition of what is strength.
Very true words. Yeah, everyone has their own little definition of strength, and some can agree on some notions, but there are some others that do differ on their own opinions. Like that whole thing of like the strong versus the weak, and how the strong should treat the weak. Do you have any opinions on that side as well? The whole strong versus the weak, and how the strong should treat the weak?
I feel the strong should challenge the weak to become strong themselves. Without strength, the weak are obviously going to find themselves lower on this philosophical food chain they find themselves on.
Let's see.
Strength is something that everybody has to have.
Right. And through Fight Finder, what do you hope to achieve? What do you hope to learn? What do you hope to improve about yourself as a person?
Through Fight Finder, Through Fight Finder, I hope to achieve that mental purpose of finding my own personal answer, reasonable answer, of course, of what is the meaning of strength. and while alongside it, making a good couple of friends along the way.
Mhm.
With how long I've already been in here so far, I've already been an associate and good friend of so far Job Gormunder, the founder of Fight Finder, Mortigus, Miss V, Scales,
Mm.
a lot of good people that I've met. Some I remember faces, but can't quite exactly remember their name. But
Mhm.
everybody that I've met so far is a good person.
I see.
One person I've been meaning to be friends so far is Barmley, but from what I've heard, they've had a pretty infamous reputation for talking shit, and from what I've seen from most of the people in our little group is they sometimes bite off more than they can chew.
I see. I see. So,
It'll be a tricky one, but
Mm-hmm. So you've been around
so that's how.
Sorry. I'll let you finish and ask
I
my next question.
suppose that's how all. Apologies on my end. Sorry.
Well, it's all right.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's all
But
right.
I suppose with how Barm's attitude is, I suppose, hey, I'm sure that's how all amputee victim cats are, huh?
Ooh. All right. Yeah. So you said you've been around for about a month and a half. So you would have witnessed a few fighters, seen a lot of their skills and whatnot.
Witnessed how they fight,
Yeah.
their styles, how they act, how they tussle with one another. I've even gotten I'd like to say a slight look into some of their feuds, but that's none of my business.
Yeah,
It's really for them to solve on one another
Yeah.
own's term.
So what skills do you bring to the table? Like, what's something that separates you from the rest and kind of puts you, that you say would give you an edge in some of your fights?
That's a pretty good question. I've never actually been asked before once in a while because the way I fight is sort of like a culmination of people I've watched fight before out on the streets, and a bit of a freestyle wrestling mixed with professional and a bit of mixed martial arts. While sometimes I do like to swap out my usual strong style, like how I did with Miss V at the Chili's event. I do tend to experiment a little with how I fight. With my usual like fighting style. For example, I use my whole body. I use my fists, my legs, every single limb of my body is technically my weapon, and that's usually my preferred response of attack. Through the fight with Miss V last week, I sort of challenged myself a bit by mixing in usual kickboxing with capoeira, which is a Brazilian fighting technique where you would use like dance style moves to inflict a pretty decent amount of damage on your opponent, sort of like a dance fight style.
Let's see.
In a way.
Interesting. So you've studied a few different forms of martial arts. Would you say you're a master of any of them, or would you say that you just dabble as a jack of all trades?
I'd mostly say like a higher end novice to intermediate, to lower end intermediate. It's more so me learning as I go along with
I see.
how I adapt to see and learning how people fight.
So not quite a black belt yet, but getting there.
Yeah.
Well, that
I mean, it
is
sort
quite-
of helps with. I mean, with how I am with my like biological genes of being half man, half rabbit. It also really helps that these legs of mine can really help me like bounce over. Like I'd say like a one to two story building. It really helps like put that emphasis in throwing some strong kicks as well as being able to being able to like really have myself as like a human cannonball.
Mm-hmm.
Really put some like strong emphasis in drop kicks and such.
Yeah, that is quite something. I've noticed that a lot of the fisticuffs fighters don't have a lot of the martial arts techniques. I mean, some do. Some are more like Street Fighter based. Others are more martial weapon based. Never seen one that uses like a pure MMA. Well, but there are a couple, but they have their own little augmented enhancements. It's not really their own strength that they utilize. Alright, so basically you're still on the way to black belt, but not quite there yet when it comes to your martial training.
Yeah, I'd mostly say that I am like higher level novice, lower level I'd say intermediate or familiar. It's really a mix of that and basically adapting to watching other fighters perform, getting ideas from them, like being essentially looking for inspiration of how I could mix things up.
So you tend to absorb a lot of the techniques that you witness from other fighters and try and incorporate into your own fighting style.
Exactly.
Do you think you could mimic a lot of the strong arm tactics a lot of the bigger people utilize, or is that something that's a little out of your weight class?
I wouldn't say out of my weight class because with like take for example for Gormund from someone as strong as Gormunder. While I'm not exactly on their level of like ability wise, they're level 9, I'm myself am level 6. I could essentially use how they how they work as inspiration and technically take a spin of how I would like take a spin with how I would do it with my sort of capability.
I see. Interesting.
It's more so that adaptability of whoever learning how someone's like tactics work whenever I fight them is how I learn. It's not through most of the time. It's not through watching like instructional videos or tapes or watching it from a distance. It's more so being in on the action, watching in person instead of like a broadcast or anything like that.
I see. And are you the type that learns during a fight where you could adapt to any situation, change up your style to match your opponent?
Yeah, I could say that.
I see. Well, that is quite the talent you got there. Not many have that combat sense to be able to learn to fight that way. That's a very rare one. Usually people have like a master or would do some at-home training.
I mostly prefer to keep my training like grounded, like some place where you use said training to actually prepare yourself for that moment.
Yes. Also, being around fight
Which is
Actually, I'll let you finish that before I move on to the next question.
which is why commonly whenever I'm roaming down the streets of Sotenbori over in Osaka, it's usually the hooligans, the vandals, and all that are looking to pick fights with each other. Those, I take that as like a sort of special opportunity to take what I've learned and learn while mixing things up, trying something new.
So you tend to train with the fellow riffraff of your area and to try and improve your skills. You know,
More so, learn a new move while cleaning up street trash at the same time.
So you're a bit of a vigilante then, in a way, huh?
I wouldn't call myself a vigilante. I'd more so be doing the public a well-needed service.
So, being a fight finder for as long as you have, is there a fighter or maybe two that you respect, and any you see as a role model, someone that you would always root for if you saw them in a fight?
Honest to God, my two most respect. Can I put three?
Hey, do as many as you want.
My honest to God, three most respected people in Fight Finder that I look to as a role model and respect is Job, Gormunder, and Gurudon.
And why those three specifically out of everyone that participated in Fight Finder?
Gurudon mostly for how technical they can get with with someone their size and mass. They still put up a hell of a good fight by being more. Actually, this could apply to both Gormunder and Gurudon for both how they can manage to stay in the fight and stay strong with how large their mass is, while also managing tactics involving what sort of moveset they're limited to, and how strong of a style they can execute it when fighting any opponent equal or lesser their size. And for Job, mostly how quick they are on their feet, and what I really like about them is sometimes they have these little magical handcuffs that always symbolize. It's like a physical manifestation of their focus. Almost every time I have fought them, they have never been clinging on to each other for too long. They are always focused on their fights. They never have a second thought of what they're gonna do. They just put in the work, and that is highly damn respectable of them.
I see. And now for the opposite side of the coin, anyone you see as a rival, anyone you want to surpass?
I really wouldn't say as a rival. To be honest with you, I don't really have any rivals in Fight Finder.
Really?
Unless I can see them as someone who can improve. And who can improve during a fight. And for that reason, to me, a personal rival of mine, not in a competitive manner, but someone who I can see that can do better, would definitely have to be Barm.
And what?
As of recent, I've seen. As of recent, I can see. I always check in the Finder in the dedicated Finder chat on all the mobile for a specific chat program on mobile and computer for mobile devices and computer terminals. I always see them in the chat talking Shakespearean levels of insults, howls, and curses and all that bullshit. But I've never seen them put in much effort into their fights, and they're more than capable of doing it, but I've yet to see something like that ever happen. I see potential in them strongly, very strongly, especially with what I saw last night. Their entire left hand, literally and physically, can shoot lightning bolts straight from their fists and fingertips, like from their entire hand. Even if there's like a right hand of theirs missing that was cut off a couple weeks back, I still believe they can put in that physicality and that strength to become a stronger fighter than they believe they are.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is they have a bit of an ego that they need to let go. They're always talking shit about one fighter or another in that group chat. Almost like half the time I see them. Recently, they have been improving. They've been showing a bit of hospitality towards some of the fighters. One of them injured, or something like that. But I believe if they can find that purpose to get strong and move past this petty, like disrespectful bullshit they put in chat, I believe they can find themselves to be put in a limit where they're comfortable with their strength and push forward on.
I see. So you guys want to see them be humble a little bit and put more effort into their actual fights.
I just want them to be more goddamn humble with themselves. They always like talk the talk, but rarely do you ever see them walk the walk or bite or like show their bite, bare their fangs.
So basically, he's all bark, is what I'm getting from little notions. Mm-hmm.
I want to see someone truly put. I want to see someone truly put. I want to see someone truly bring the beast out of them. Show the entire Fight Finder community what they can be capable of.
And, well, that's all the time we have for today. So, any closing remarks, anyone you want to promote, anyone you want to personally call out?
One person, and I'm pretty sure we already both know who it's going to be.
Oh, yes, of course, based on what I've heard from you.
Barm, if you're watching this, I've heard from news reports that there is an upcoming wrestling event that may or may not be happening soon. I want you to be there. And I want you to bring your fucking A game. I want you to show me the sort of fucking beast you can be in and out of the ring. I want you to show me your fucking talons, your fangs, the fucking fire in your heart. I want you to show Fight Finder the sort of fighter you can be.
Wow. Now that's a call out. Well, thank you very much for coming onto my show and taking the time to sit here and chat with me. Yes. I do hope to see you grow in the future and continue to fight more and learn new skills as you continue your career here in Fight Finder.
Pleasure to be here.
Mm-hmm. And, well, folks, that's all the time we have for this evening. Thank you all for stopping by to watch the show, and a big round of applause to all the fighters that came out here tonight to sit down, talk with me, and we get to know them a lot better on a more deeper level. Tune in next week for our next episode, and hey, stay tuned to this channel, and up next we have Cooking with Firearms. Apparently that show's still going, so do get that a watch. Till then, I'm Rexington, and I'll see you all later.